What's up, folks? Let's go through another drill to help to open up my hip and increase my hip rotation so that I'm going to be a lot more adequate at getting this rotation, this knees out position when I'm squatting. Now remember, when we're squatting, it's not just about getting knees out, it's about creating stability in the hip so that you're not collapsing inward, so that you're not shaking or being wibbly wobbly. So the degree at which your knees go out, that will change massively from person to person. Men tend to be, you stay over your toes and maybe you get as far out as like over your pinky toes. And that's often a cue that I will give. Think about knees over your little toes. Women may be able to get their knees way, way out. And some women, like some proper women Olympic weightlifters, will get to damn near 180 degrees out. It's really impressive, but that has to do with your hip structure. So when we're doing things like this, it's not about how can I get my knees like as far out as possible. It's about as far out as is feasible and reasonable for you in that time for what you're doing. If you're doing a simple air squat, it's not so important. You're just going to keep it kind of neutral, fine. If you are doing a max effort back squat, you need to have as much capacity for this external rotation as possible. All right, we're going to do this pretty simply, pretty easily, just one drill. I need to get a band, one that's going to be broad enough because it's going to be digging into my upper thigh, that it's not going to be like a tourniquet, but will be fairly comfortable. So I'm going to put this into something that is rock solid stable, that no matter how much I pull on it, it's not moving. So please don't use something that moves. That will be absolutely ridiculous. So I want to actually wrap this around at about hip height or so. So I'm going to pull that through. I'm going to feed my leg through that band and take that up my thigh as high up as is comfortable. If it's strangling off anything in that area, go a little bit lower with it. Now, two drills I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this position and I have my banded leg in the back. I'm always adjusting where the banded leg is to make sure it's not riding up. So you'll notice my back leg is vertical in the thigh, so the band is going to stay in place. My front thigh, though, is angled upwards. So if I made this the front thigh, that's already going up into my groin. That's very uncomfortable. I don't want that. So always put yourself into a position where you maximize your comfort and therefore your sustainability doing these drills. And really nice and easy, I'm just going to move my hips around. Nice and easy. I want to do this for about 30 seconds to a minute, and then I'm going to turn. Now the band's pulling to the outside, so I want to get all the angles, all the corners, and I can do the same thing and just move my hip around, creating more independent movement in the femur and the hip, where they junction in there. I can also practice deadlifting. I can also go down into a lunge and really emphasize the knee rotation. Well, it's the hip and the ankle rotation, but really practicing getting my knee out there. So this is kind of like isolating half of a squat. So I'm getting into that position in the bottom of the squat and really working just on that one specific aspect. And I can also kind of rotate in to work on that pigeon position, that figure four stretch position. So you'll feel this a little bit more in the back of your hip. Now you can keep going and like use this to pull forward. You can keep going in the circle, but I'd rather do those first two drills. I find that both for myself and for clients that I work with, those first two movements seem to have like the biggest bang for your buck. So again, band leg in the front, it's pulling to the side, moving around in that, getting into your lunge, your deadlift, your pigeon position, and then also having it banded leg in the back, pulling the leg back, and just moving around nice and easy. You can hinge over as well if you want. Your leg's not really at a great spot to get the most out of that, but you can do it. And that's it, easy. So about 2 minutes total with that. And then as always, I would probably recommend testing out your pigeon stretch as well, your figure four stretch, but get into your squat position before and after doing this and see if one side does not feel so loose and easy and strong and mobile now compared to the other side. If you suffer with chronic pain, chronic injuries, athletic injuries, I have got you covered. My name is Ethan Hammond, and I am a strength and rehab specialist. I work with people who want to return to sport and fitness, but feel that they can't because of pain and injuries. I've helped people with conditions such as lower back pain, ACL tears, shin splints, neck pain and chronic headaches, and so many more things. Now, a lot of you will be going through things like this, like what I just listed above, and you're saying that you cannot train anymore. Bullshit. You have got to train, and you've got to train right. Train or complain, that is the way this works. Now I work in person in Southampton, England, but I have online services as well if you're a bit further out. And I also offer free consultations to get you started with a free game plan and strategy for getting out of pain. All you have to do is to send me a text or a WhatsApp message to 07 305 231 339, and I will personally get back to you in the next 24 hours to get you started on the road to proper recovery. If you are serious about leveling up and making real change, this is how you start.